Right, welcome everyone. So I've just been playing a round here, so ignore this. I was even playing around on GBP JPY this morning. Just playing a round on different entries and stuff. Right, let's get to the good stuff. So dollar, dollar. What is happening? Why is it so tricky? All right. Maybe this person in. Why is dollar so tricky? Why are markets so tricky? We are, stuck between escalation, de-escalation. We had obviously a few shots fired in the UAE, and it seems to have all died down again. However, markets are still pricing instability. All right. And why do I say that? All right, we've got the dollar clean trend, right? Cleaner. You won't get a nicer downtrend than this. You can see here, nice clean trend. I actually think this is going to be a bit of a brick wall here, but obviously let's wait and see. So what's making it tricky is obviously yields here. It's still at 4.3%. Don't obviously panic that this is, you know, um, terrible and detrimental. Yeah, yes, obviously we're going against the dollar today. But if you look at, so this is the 1st of May. All right. And then we've got these lows here, which is equal low here of the 17th of April. All right. And then we look at yields here. So we've got the 1st of May. All right. And then let's look for the 17th of April. It should be down here. 17th of April. Yeah. All right. So look at obviously these 2 points here. All right. Potentially you could even draw a line between point to point. All right. So yields are still trending to the upside. That means there's money obviously flowing into government bonds and obviously not much money coming out. All right. Now, if we look at, we've not even reached that level yet. All right. Whereas obviously, um, we are dollar is pretty much where it was back in April. All right, so I'm trying to show you the gap here. All right, yields haven't been dropping at the same rate as the dollar. If we think dollars probably dropped this much, all right, yields have only dropped probably in comparison. Oh, just get rid of that. Yields in comparison have probably only dropped like this much. Yeah. All right. So we've got real instability here. All right. Why is that? Right. All the instability is based on obviously inflation worries, keeping interest rates higher for longer, worries, all these things are obviously based off of the current price of oil. You can't have oil high without inflation because I think, like always, the whole world relies on it. All right. And obviously, I did mention to everyone that this area was an area that lots of people are going to be looking at. And obviously, we mentioned this around here. Yeah. All right. We mentioned it here. So I'm going to take away these. Well, no, let's leave these there. So we mentioned it middle of last week or Monday, whatever, well, whatever, that this area here would be a buying area. All right. What's ended up happening with oil? All right. Look how quickly we've come down into this area and look how quickly we've halted. All right. We've halted very quickly because everyone wants to buy from here. All right. Anywhere below 100, it's pretty cheap. I was looking at, so it costs, here's an interesting one. Yeah, yesterday, because I was speaking to one of my friends yesterday, and he said it costs about $10 um, for them to, drill um, a certain amount of oil. I can't remember how much. All right. Now they're now charging, $100 per barrel, but obviously it's not $100. So countries like Japan will be paying about $140 because and that's how much profit is in it. It is crazy. So all the oil guys, I know that Trump's got a lot of friends in the petroleum industry. And obviously, yes, yeah, they're doing very, very, very well. But obviously, like I mentioned, oil and yields are, what we need to focus on, in regards to identifying, how much inflation pressure every country has. And I think the longer that this goes on, the longer oil stays at that price, the more inflation worries that everyone has, so it's yeah, it's not good for anything apart from potentially dollar, which has been proved here, because obviously what is oil bought in? Oil is bought in dollars, so naturally it's going to do pretty well. So let's have a look at today, what is happening in the markets, what news have we got coming out? So we've obviously got some UK PMI data. Expecting this to miss slightly. We've also got ADP employment change. That'll be interesting. Sometimes gives us a bit of a telltale what is going to happen on Friday. We've got non-farm payroll Friday, and apart from that, not a lot extra. I wonder if anyone's going to be interested in the US oil inventories, but I don't think it's going to. So it's pure speculation here, and that's what makes it tricky. All right, it makes it very, very hard to obviously trade, at the moment. Especially if we've got like gaps in the market like this, the horrible gaps. I mean, if you look at yields, gapped, but I am monitoring this closely. All right, yields I'm monitoring closely because I do feel this needs to catch up a bit. All right, ideally we want them pretty much in tandem. Yeah, right? But we've got a real, we're just out, and this here, this discrepancy here is what's making it tough to trade because yields obviously aren't dropping, dollars ending up doing this. All right, to try and obviously catch up, and obviously markets don't really know how to price anything in. So they are pricing for de-escalation at the moment. That's obviously what this is here. So someone must know something, but obviously it's not heavy. Oil obviously drops off again. I think we finished yesterday about 3%, over 3% loss on oil. So, it's down another 1.7% today. It was down further. You could probably argue it was down another 3%, but obviously it's holding. So yeah, it's about, and this is what I think is important. It's about dissecting what is happening, breaking it down bit by bit, kind of bite size, and obviously then we can take it from there. So the trades we've got today, or the um, documented trades we got today. So GBP USD hasn't been kind to us this week. We had a stop loss Monday and a stop loss yesterday. So I played it a little bit, safer. You can see here, if we drag these across here, these are our kind of, that's my zone of today. Let's just move this over slightly so I can show you. You can kind of see why here. There's a lot of liquidity trapped in here, turnaround here. So that's obviously why I've chosen to kind of come in at this zone here. Stops obviously just below this, low here. Obviously, trend has to change for us to, yeah, want to obviously take price in a different direction. But as you can see here, got a nice clean trend here. If we get the highlighter tool, we've got a very nice clean trend here. Yeah. Right, higher high, higher low, hoping for another tap, but obviously hoping for that continuation. But price is, like I'd said, because of yields and dollar, because they're not, they're not trading at the, same kind of consistency. It's making it very, very tricky. So that's obviously one that we've got here. Euro, I stayed away from. you can see here on pound, we made obviously a clean high, and obviously we're escaping, whereas euro's just a bit messy. All right. One thing that I didn't like, if we look at trending away here, lower low, right? Higher high, higher low. I don't like, this kind of price movement here. So yeah, I'd rather stay away and obviously wait to see how kind of London plays out. Aussie, happy for this. We've obviously got to look at Aussie as a whole. Interest rates have increased. You can see obviously a nice clear trend here as well. All right, you can see a nice trend forming here. Hopefully, it will come back and then continue. All right. So yeah, remember obviously yesterday they raised interest rates. That's always good for a currency. So yeah, hopefully just want to tail off into this area and then pump from here. Gold, again, it's a little bit messy. I've kept stops, a bit smaller. So obviously just want to come into this area here. I've scattered entries. So we do have a slightly bigger zone than obviously what I would normally have, but I do want that kind of scattering because I do think gold also has been very, very volatile and also very, very messy. You can see here we've got a clean kind of downtrend. All right, we've broken up, broke back in, broken up, retested. If we were to move this up slightly, something like this, all right, broken up, retested, pumped up, it's kind of all over the place, so it is quite tricky to trade at the moment. And obviously USDJPY is just horrible. It's just horrible. Like Alex mentioned, it's a bit like a meme coin. If we look at this one here, like the price action, everything's heavy on yen. Look at all of this price action here, right? All of it here, one candle, boom. And if we look at this on a 15 minute, I could probably do a 30-minute actually. No, it will be the smallest we can go is one hour here. There's probably 20, 30 candles here, probably more. 1 hour, boom, took all of it out. So you just can't trade it when this is happening. The only thing you could be a bit more confident on is potentially trading to the downside. So I would rather be trading it from potentially this area here. Might be something that, might be worth it. Yeah, but obviously, after watching all these heavy, you can see them here, right? Heavy move here, heavy move here, heavy move here. Heavy move here. You want to be, and this is a good lesson actually. The only time you want to be loading up on USDJPY is to the downside. There's no point trying to buy, from here because, these can look how quickly, we've shown 1 hour just dumped out. So just always be aware. Try and read into price before you entering because things like USDJPY, it doesn't matter if pound, if dollar is flying, you're still going to be a little bit nervous buying this because in this hour it can wipe you out. So yeah, um, get your questions ready. No, I don't think. Sorry, Alex. Is this intervention on JPY? I don't think it's an intervention. There's just heavy, sellers. All right, heavy, sellers, and obviously you got to think people have shorted this. They've taken their money off the table. They've let price pump up again. They've shorted it again. They've taken money off the table. They've shorted it again. They've taken money off the table. They've shortened it again. They've taken their money off the table. No one. It's not an intervention, but there are some heavy, sellers who don't want to sell below this price here. So to me, it's kind of probably strategy more than anything. If we look at, so I'm just gonna move the chat down. So if we look at where they're kind of lining up, probably probably around 600, probably even a little bit less. I reckon 156 would be where, the sellers would be thinking, right, you know what, we're going to terminate here. And obviously that's why all the wicks, there's not been many closes much below. So yeah, that's my kind of interpretation of it. But yeah, no, we've got a few things obviously lined up as well. Just obviously go over that. We've got the boot camp. There's I think it's about 23, 24. We've raised massively, so we've raised about just under 1.2k. And obviously I'm gonna match it too, so that'll be just under 2.2k raised for Make-A-Wish charity. So brilliant. Well done to everyone and thank you. I'm going to be obviously on 8 p.m. tonight, 8 p.m. tomorrow. I've made some PDFs up. I've made, loads of stuff up. We've got some stuff to go over. And then obviously, same again tomorrow. Gold copy is about 12.5% up, ticking over nicely. Um, yeah, everything's, flying pretty well. If I look at my journal, it's been quite slow. I'm not gonna lie, this month, it started off, slowly, want to kind of scale it. We just need a bit of a run. We've been a bit unlucky with the currency pairs. Normally, currencies are my speciality, but obviously this week, pound has caught me. So I think gold yesterday, after about 15 minutes, I was in more profit than I was the whole day. And there's a lesson to be kind of learnt there, that if you are to think about trading in a way, we don't want to worry. You can have the best setup and the best reasons why, all right, and you could obviously potentially be stopped at break even, or potentially lose trade, whereas it might be that you've got half decent trade, it's popped down, you've taken profit off the table, you step back, you're out, you want to go again tomorrow. Because if you imagine, those pictures you get, those like life charts where you're supposed to scratch your days off. I haven't got one because it sounds like one of the most depressing things that you could ever have. But obviously, trading, you need to be a bit like that, where it's right, profit today, scratch it off, don't touch it. Profit tomorrow, scratch it off, don't touch it. So yeah, but no. If there's no more questions, I'm going to end it here. Please, like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube. Yeah, and really, really, really appreciate obviously everyone who's on the boot camp. Um, you know, um, Tonight, I'm really, really happy that obviously we've raised the money. Like I said, I'm going to match what you guys have raised. So yeah, really, really happy. So yeah, let's smash it. Hopefully, we'll obviously have a bit of a cleaner Wednesday than as opposed to Monday, Tuesday. And yeah, let's go. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day.